Hello everyone and welcome to another compact tuning guide for Forza Horizon 5. Today I've got something special for you. It's the debut of a car on my test track that's not a production vehicle. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, I'm talking about the 2019 Italdesign DaVinci Concept car. Now, since this is a concept car, there isn't a ton of information available. But I've done some research to bring you some intriguing key details. First, it features the same viaduct design element that we've previously seen in the Zara Uno. However, this time it's purely for aesthetics and doesn't serve any cooling function. The 2+2 hatchback coupe body with gull-wing doors, styled in GT fashion, bears a strong resemblance to the design of the Koenigsegg Gemera. Hopefully we are able to enjoy the Gemera in the game soon. But perhaps the most exciting fact about the DaVinci concept car is that it could be fitted with a 4-liter V8 engine with just some minor tweaks. It would have been amazing if Playground Games had given us the option for such a wide conversion. Who knows, maybe in the next game we'll have that opportunity. Now let's talk about how the car performs in Forza Horizon 5. How's the handling, what's my take on its performance, and so on. To put it bluntly, everything about this car except its acceleration, top speed and differential settings is downright terrible. It feels like it weighs around 3 tons, the brakes seem more suitable for a bicycle, and the torsion stiffness is virtually non-existent. Initially I wasn't even sure if the car had all-wheel drive or if it just was rear-wheel drive because how unstable it felt. It's a complete mess, and that's why there were moments when I drove it cautiously, almost like a grandmother. Yes, yours. All jokes aside, given that we have a lot of room for improvements to maximize this EV within its S1 class, it's time to dive into the tuning menu and make every adjustment possible to make this car drivable without sacrificing its attractive design. I must say the fissured front, which is rather unique for electric vehicles, contributes to its visual appeal. Let's get to work on making this concept car shine on the road. The first order of business is enhancing the motor and battery, cranking up the horsepower to a jaw-dropping 913. That's 153 more than what it came with. Frankly, I am not sure where they conjured these figures, but we are in for a wild ride. I know, the Forza aero is recommended, but I've glanced at it and to be honest, it's given me a few nightmares. My eyes are still recovering from this shock. So, we'll be leaving that out.
Look at this. What is that? Why is this even possible to equip a splitter like this on that car?
Let's take it the tires and rim section, which is where the things get a bit controversial. Instead of the Forza aero, I've boldly gone for the full slicks. Trust me, with my final setup, this decision makes a substantial difference. Since I'm not widening the front tires but opting for extra width at the rear, and considering the absence of aero, slicks are the way to go. The stock rims, while not my personal favorite, actually complement the car's design quite well despite their bulky appearance. Moving on, I've made the essential upgrade to a race differential. Even though it doesn't impact the car's PI, I'd always recommend this upgrade. It's also a bit of a hack for those races that require stock PI. Lastly, in the platform and handling section, I've pulled out all the stops. Every possible upgrade is in place because, let's face it, there's no way to make this car even worse than it started. The brakes alone have shed 42 kilograms of the weight and boosted the braking rating from a paltry 5.8 to a robust 7.4. That's a remarkable transformation, considering we began with a less than impressive 4.7 in the braking department. With these enhancements complete, we've successfully transformed this concept car into a formidable machine. The weight now hovers just over 1.8 tons, boasting a remarkable 20% power increase. The braking rating has surged from a humble 4.7 to an impressive 7.8. After the basics are done, let's jump into the fine-tune. I won't explain anything because there are enough tuning guides out there which are pretty good for both beginners and advanced tuners. After my initial complaints and the narrow streaks during hours spent in the fine-tuning menu, it's finally time to showcase how the DaVinci performs on my test track. You may have noticed some unconventional values for settings like tire pressure, camber, spring rate and more, but once you witness the full run, you will understand why these adjustments are crucial. Even if you are not a seasoned driver, it'll be clear that this setup complements the car remarkably well. I must admit that, at the outset, using the Forza aero would have made life easier. However, considering that most of us choose to drive this car for its striking appearance rather than its history or sound, aesthetics play a significant role. Now, in terms of performance, the DaVinci is still about 5 seconds behind the fastest S1 class car on this track, which, by the way, is the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 RS. This difference is acceptable, especially given the capabilities of the Cayman. However, the primary challenge remains the car's handling. While it's significantly easier to drive now, it's still demanding, particularly in certain sections of the track, such as downhill corners that you typically take flat out. The car's rapid acceleration combined with its substantial weight means that you need to brake much earlier than you would in most cars, which can be a tad frustrating and occasionally annoying. Yet, the payoff comes on its straightaways. The DaVinci can reach a Vmax of over 400 kph, which is unusual for the S1 class. Most cars in this class top out at around 350 kph. In summary, I'd recommend my setup if you either lack the expertise to create your own, or if you're an experienced driver seeking the challenging ride. This car might not be the easiest to handle, but once you've mastered its quirks, it can keep up with the rest of the pack. Oh, and one last note, it takes about 30 seconds for the car to bring the tires into their optimal operating temperature window, which isn't ideal for sprint races. So, after covering all the details, I want to express my gratitude for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment. Until next time, keep those tires burning and embrace the lack of aero.